Steven Gerrard's long-awaited return to Ibrox is edging closer, but the Liverpool legend isn't prepared to walk back into the Rangers job without clear assurances. As discussions progress between Gerrard and the club's hierarchy, it's understood he has made his stance crystal clear on one key issue involving sporting director Kevin Thelwell. With both sides keen to strike an agreement, the next steps could prove crucial in shaping the direction of the club's rebuild. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. But first, Rangers star Thelwell, Asgard's famous musician father, has backed his son to deal with the pressure after seeing for himself the recent toxic atmosphere at Ibrox. The Norwegian international was signed from Luton Town during the summer by sacked manager Russell Martin, but has had a testing start to his Ibrox career. He scored 4 goals for Norway in their recent World Cup qualifier against Moldova and looks set to go to the tournament next year with them. His father, Jonathan Asgard, is a world-famous musician who spent 25 years with the prestigious Liverpool Philharmonic Orchestra as a cellist, and he's used his experience of playing in concerts around the world to help his son Thelwell. After a first visit to Ibrox, he said, "We've talked a lot about performing in front of people. It's about being prepared and finding strength within yourself. I was recently at a match at Ibrox where I felt for myself the pressure he is under. For me, the worst that can happen if I don't perform at my best is that I get weak applause. Thelwell could get 50,000 fans against him. So I think it's important to have some tools in place to deal with that. It's really great that he says I have been his role model. It's great as a father to see what he's doing now, but I've always known he's been a good footballer. There's always something going on around him." Now, Rangers are edging closer to confirming Steven Gerrard's sensational return as manager, with negotiations said to be at an advanced stage, and the former Ibrox boss having outlined the key conditions for his comeback. The move comes after the club's dismal start to the season, which culminated in Russell Martin's dismissal following a 1-1 draw with Falkirk last weekend, a result that proved the final straw for the board and the supporters alike. Martin's short tenure was marred by inconsistency and growing fan frustration, and his departure on Sunday triggered an immediate and urgent search for his replacement. Now, all signs point to Gerrard reclaiming the hot seat in Glasgow, nearly 4 years after departing for the Premier League. According to sources, Rangers are close to reaching a total agreement with the Liverpool legend, who has already held positive face-to-face discussions in London with Chairman Andrew Kavanagh and Vice Chairman Parag Maraf on Thursday. Gerrard's return would mark a significant moment for the club and its supporters. During his first spell at Ibrox, he guided Rangers to their first Premiership title in a decade, a remarkable unbeaten campaign in 2020 to 2021 that saw his side amass 102 points and end Celtic's domestic dominance. Though the early stages of his managerial reign were challenging, his impact on the club's standards, professionalism, and European competitiveness was widely recognised. However, Gerrard's return is not simply a nostalgic move. The 44-year-old has reportedly made it clear that he expects a greater level of control this time around, particularly when it comes to recruitment. He is said to have requested a decisive say in transfer dealings after what has been described as a disappointing summer window under sporting director Kevin Thelwell. Thelwell, who arrived from Everton at the end of last season, has faced mounting criticism over the squad's lack of balance and quality. Sources close to the club claim Gerrard is open to working alongside Thelwell, but insists that any future signings must align with his footballing vision. As one insider put it, Steven wants the tools to succeed, and that means having the final word on who comes through the door. Those close to the discussions describe Gerrard as energised and determined about the opportunity, with a belief that unfinished business remains at Ibrox. He reportedly sees the current situation as a chance to rebuild Rangers into a dominant domestic force once again, while restoring pride in Europe. Reflecting on his first tenure, Gerrard's record was one of steady evolution. In his debut 2018-19 campaign, the club finished second in the Premiership but fell short in the domestic cups, while his second season was curtailed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Celtic were awarded the title on points per game. It was in his third year that Gerrard's work culminated in glory, delivering a flawless league campaign that reignited belief throughout the blue half of Glasgow. When he left for Aston Villa in November 2021, Rangers were top of the table, and many fans felt his exit came just as his project was reaching maturity. Now, with the club in flux and the fan base eager for renewed direction, his return appears to offer both familiarity and ambition. For Gerrard, the appeal of the challenge is clear. A source close to the talks revealed, Stephen's heart has always stayed with Rangers. He knows what this club means to the supporters and to the city. He's ready to come back stronger, but only if everything is in place for him to succeed. If all goes as planned, Gerrard could be back in the Ibrox dugout within days. A reunion that promises both excitement and scrutiny, and one that could define Rangers' immediate future on and off the pitch. In other news, from the moment he walked in at Rangers, Pedro Kaishin felt he was never going to be accepted. Until Russell Martin, the shortest serving manager in the club's history, the Portuguese boss was a flop and was sacked after ONL 229 days in charge, which included a Europa League exit at the hands of Luxembourg Minnows Progress Niederkorn. He admits he made mistakes and could have managed the players better, but felt he was always on the back foot because of his background, coming directly from managing Qatar and having only won trophies in Mexico. Kaishin has accused Scotland of being a closed shop and not welcoming of outsiders like him. As a result, he felt he was fighting a losing battle when trying to implement his methods. The 54-year-old told Give Me Sport, "I took a lot of wrong decisions at Rangers, I admit that. My man management and understanding the players I had could have been better. I had the idea I knew the Scottish culture quite well because I did my UEFA and Pro license badges there. But I arrived at Rangers from Qatar and no one respected that. They said, this guy's coming from Qatar. This guy's Portuguese. He's only won stuff in Mexico. So they questioned what I was going to do at Rangers. I didn't care about it, and I tried to implement my methodology. But in Scotland, it's totally different to even in England. They are much more open-minded in football in England because there are different cultures there. I love Scotland, but it's much more closed. I tried to implement my methodology and a weekly training program and philosophy, and it was not accepted from the very first moment, and that was the first shock to me." Adding to Kaishin's concerns during his short tenure was leaks coming out of Thelwell Club, something that has continued to plague managers since. He says he suffered consequences from trying to fight against them and wasn't supported by the club. He adds that he was able to clean things up for his successor, Steven Gerrard. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.